Hey guys, Tom here, and today I'm bringing you my WWE Payback 2016 review. The show has just finished live on the WWE Network, and in today's video, I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on every single thing which happened on tonight's show. Overall, I really enjoyed tonight's WWE Payback. I thought it was a really good show, so today's review is going to be pretty positive. I'm going to give tonight's pay-per-view an easy 8 out of 10. I thought every single match was really entertaining. I have had an absolute blast watching Payback this year. I thought it was really good. So get down in the comment section, guys, and comment what you thought of this year's WWE Payback. I think this was probably the best pay-per-view the WWE have done all year in the year 2016. This was a hell of a show. Very good. Really enjoyed it. Smash the likes, guys. We're going to kick things off talking about the kickoff show and work our way through to the main event. So if you want to hear my thoughts on the main event, you're going to have to stick around till the end of the video. But what did I think of the two kickoff show matches? I thought that the Dolph Ziggler against Baron Corbin match was pretty boring, but Callisto against Ryback was absolutely insane. So just talking about the Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler match, very surprising Dolph Ziggler got the win. So very strange booking decision to have Dolph Ziggler go over Baron Corbin here. I thought this match was pretty straightforward. I thought the new, young Baron Corbin was going over in this match. I thought Dolph Ziggler was in this match to put over the new star Baron Corbin, but it didn't happen. Dolph Ziggler gets the win over Baron Corbin, so that was extremely unpredictable. I thought the match was pretty boring. It didn't do much for me, but one match which did do something for me was the next match. Ryback against Callisto. What an insane match. How this match wasn't on the full match card is absolutely crazy. Why it was put on the kickoff show for the second pay-per-view in a row is absolutely ridiculous. Now, they proved that WrestleMania 32, they can have one hell of a match, and they made the mistake again by putting it on the pre-show for a second pay-per-view in a row. Their match at WrestleMania 32 was so good, so why it was on the pre-show again made absolutely no sense, because this match was even better than their WrestleMania 32 match. This match was so good, and from this match, you can just see how much Ryback has improved in such a short amount of time, which was extremely frustrating because he looked really good in this match. He looked amazing. Ryback looked as good as he's ever looked in the WWE, but then he lost, which was a huge shame. I didn't really know why they were doing this match again. I thought the reason they were doing this match again was to set up for a title change. I thought Ryback was easily winning the title here, but he didn't win it, which was a huge shame because he looked great in this match. I think a title win would have topped this match off. It was a great match, but Ryback not walking away with the title was a bit of a disappointment. Callisto, he hasn't really been on TV for a while. Really, ever since he won the title, he's not really done that much with it. He's been missing for the last few weeks. I thought Ryback, he changed his gimmick up. I thought he was going to take the title at WrestleMania. It didn't happen. I thought he was going to take it tonight, and it didn't happen, which is a huge shame. He looked great in this match. He turned heel recently. I thought this would have been the opportunity to put the belt on Ryback, see what he can do with it. But once again, he takes a devastating loss on a pay-per-view, which is a huge shame. But why this match wasn't on the pay-per-view is absolutely crazy, because it was absolutely insane. There were some amazing spots in this match. A DDT on the apron by Callisto. How the hell does he do it? I have no idea. Ryback doing a military press from the top rope. I have never seen anything as good as that before. That was absolutely amazing. So overall, this match was insane. Ryback, he should have got the win. He looked very impressive in this match. And Callisto, he hasn't done much with the title. What does the future look like for Ryback? Not too great. He takes another devastating loss on a pay-per-view. Anyway, moving on to the next match, the number one contenders match for the tag team tournament finals. It was set up to be a great match. Two young tag teams going at it. It was set up to be a really extremely awesome match, and it just it came to a horrific ending when Enzo Amore injured himself. What a damn shame. What an awful start to the pay-per-view. I tweeted out after the match and it got tons of retweets. I think sometimes we take the WWE for granted. I think sometimes we just forget about the injuries and things, and at the end of the day, these guys put their bodies on the line every single damn day, and I think we take it for granted a little bit. It was a huge shame. What a crap way to start the pay-per-view. Seeing an injury like that, absolutely horrific. It was set up to be a great match. Sadly, we didn't get to see it. I'm not sure how this match is going to go now. How are they going to determine the number one contenders? I have no idea. I just hope Enzo Amore is okay. I hope this doesn't mean anything bad for the tag team because they're brilliant. It was set up to be a great match. It was destined to be a really awesome way to start the pay-per-view, and it started horrifically with this injury. What a damn shame. And what a horrible way to start the pay-per-view. I think the only good thing about this match was the New Day at ringside eating pizza during the match. I mean, how do they think of these ideas? Every single segment they're in, it's so damn unique, and I really enjoyed that, but what a damn shame. What a horrible way to start the pay-per-view. Absolutely disgusting, and yeah, that was just a huge shame, and it just left the opening match a hugely flat way to start the pay-per-view. Damn shame. Anyway, moving on. Kevin Owens defeating Sami Zayn. What a freaking awesome match. I was so looking forward to this match, and it fully delivered. I mean, the only problem with this match was I wish it was given longer time because it was so good. It would have been great to see another 5 to 10 more minutes added onto this match because it was great. It felt like it ended a little bit too fast because it was awesome, but I'm not surprised because the amount of energy they needed to put on this match would have been absolutely ridiculous because they just didn't stop from the bell. It was just full action ahead. It was absolutely insane. I thought this match was going to be good. It was bloody insane. It was awesome. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, easily two of the best wrestlers in the world, and you could just see it in this match. They were trying to prove that during this match, and you could tell they know each other so well. They just fit so well in this match. There was great chemistry, great energy, brilliant moves, brilliant wrestling match. We knew it was going to be good. It was awesome. They stole the show. Amazing match. Absolutely loved it. Kevin Owens goes over, which makes absolute sense. He's the heel. Sami Zayn will now want a rematch, and hopefully he goes over at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. But at the end of the day, Kevin Owens goes over, winning with the pop-up powerbomb. This won't be the last match in the feud. This is going to carry on for a long, long time. That's why Kevin Owens goes over. It doesn't make sense for Sami Zayn to win the first match. I'm sure he'll get his win back at the next pay-per-view, so don't worry about that, guys. But what a match it made. Holy shit, this was great. Moving on, the Intercontinental Championship match. I thought this match was going to be solid. I think it sort of delivered. It was okay. The Miz defeating Cesaro. I thought the best thing about this match was the finish, which I thought was very, very unique. Kevin Owens on commentary. Sami Zayn out of nowhere runs up to Kevin Owens and starts attacking him. They start brawling during the Miz and Cesaro match, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. So at the end of the day, they start brawling on the ring apron. Cesaro makes Miz tap out. The ref doesn't see it. Cesaro goes up to the referee and Miz wins with a roll-up pin in huge heel fashion. He got booed out the building. What a way to book the Miz, retaining his title by roll-up after Cesaro was distracted. What a way for the Miz to win. Typical Miz fashion, typical heel fashion. Great booking decision. The Miz needed a convincing. He needed a big win at the pay-per-view. He's just kind of revitalized his career. He's teamed up with his wife Maurice. It made sense for him to get a big pay-per-view win. He gets lots of momentum from this win over Cesaro. A lot of people will be disappointed that Cesaro didn't go over in this match, but at the end of the day, if he won the title here, would it have been a step in the wrong direction? Winning a mid-card championship, I think Cesaro is a lot better than that. Miz, he needed a big win on a pay-per-view, and that's exactly what he got. So there you go. I really like the unique finish towards this match, and I thought it was very clever. I did enjoy it. I thought the Miz was going to win in heel fashion, and that's exactly what he did. There you go. The Miz gets booed out the building, and he is super over. Then we got Dean Ambrose against Chris Jericho. Dean Ambrose needed a big win on a pay-per-view, and that's exactly what Chris Jericho gave him here. Chris Jericho, he usually comes back to put talent over, and finally he put somebody over. Surprisingly, he beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania, which was a horrendous decision. Also a horrendous decision at WrestleMania was Dean Ambrose losing to Brock Lesnar. So Dean Ambrose went into Payback needing a big pay-per-view win. He lost at Roadblock, he lost his Intercontinental Championship, so he needed a big win to get back on it, and Dean Ambrose got that at the Payback pay-per-view. He hasn't been looking great recently. He took a devastating loss to Brock Lesnar in a crap match at WrestleMania. Dean Ambrose gets back on it with a win over Chris Jericho tonight at the WWE Payback pay-per-view. A great way to get a win. I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, really good match, but Dean Ambrose winning is the highlight of this match because he really needed a big pay-per-view win, and he got it against Chris Jericho. So well done to Chris Jericho for putting over Dean Ambrose. That's the correct decision to do. Dean Ambrose could be a big star now. Chris Jericho, obviously a former world champion, putting over Dean Ambrose is going to do wonders for him, and he certainly needed to get put over because he's been doing horrendous on pay-per-views recently. Also, the ending towards the match was pretty fantastic as well. I really liked how Dean Ambrose scrambled the dirty deeds out of Chris Jericho. That was a great way to end the match. Overall, very interesting match, very entertaining. Dean Ambrose going over. Hopefully, he can be a big star now with that win over Chris Jericho. Moving on, the Women's Championship, which was probably one of the most underwhelming things of the night. I thought it was going to be okay, but at the end of the day, we all wanted to see Sasha Banks taking on the Women's Champion Charlotte tonight at the Payback pay-per-view, and we got Natalya instead, which didn't really make a lot of sense. She's been gone for months. She then earns a random championship match at Payback. It didn't make a lot of sense. For me, it felt like a big filler match, and it really was, because Charlotte goes over Natalya in a pretty boring match. It wasn't that impressive. They've had much better matches in the past, and the finish was absolutely horrendous. Referee Charles Robinson stopped the match while Charlotte had Natalya in a sharpshooter, and it kind of mirrored the Montreal Screwjob, but it just didn't make sense, and it just didn't make sense. It was absolutely stupid. The referee runs off afterwards. Absolutely hideous. They did something like this at SummerSlam with Brock and The Undertaker. The crowd shit on it then. They were obviously going to shit on it here, and that's exactly what they did. This was just stupid. Why they thought this was a good idea, I have no idea, because up to this point, the Payback pay-per-view was absolutely brilliant. So why they had to do this, I have no idea. Wow, stupid decision. But Charlotte, she's still the champion. She's been doing a good job as a heel. It was the right decision to have her go over Natalya. It just didn't make sense for Natalya to win the championship here. Charlotte's still the champion. I can't wait to see Sasha against Charlotte soon. That's what we wanted to see. I suppose we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that. But the ending towards this match leaves a huge sour taste in my mouth. And overall, the match was a bit of a disappointment. It was a bit slow. Overall, it was a bit of a filler match. Now, there was a cool ending at the end of the match. Bret Hart and Natalya putting both of them, Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair, into sharpshooters. It was okay. It was kind of a feel-good moment now that he's defeated cancer. It was a little bit cringy, but it was also a feel-good moment at the same time, and it was nice for Bret Hart to get his moment. At the end of the day, the ending just, horrendous. Overall, we then got a segment which did feel a little bit like a Monday Night Raw. It was a bit of a bore authority segment. It was kind of what we're used to with Stephanie McMahon, because this segment was so damn long. It took ages for us to get anywhere, and it was really underwhelming, because at the end of the day, the big announcement was that both of them are going to be running Monday Night Raw. Ugh. How underwhelming is that? We wanted a big decision. We wanted the brand split to come back, and the decision was that both of them would be running Monday Night Raw. How underwhelming was that? We waited 20 minutes to find that as the announcement, and it just got no reaction. It was so flat, so disappointing. What a huge waste of time. It felt like a segment from Monday Night Raw. I watch pay-per-views for wrestling. I wanted a big moment here. I wanted the brand split to come back, and it didn't happen. I think that's what we're going to get later down the line, but we're going to have to hold on to that, and we're going to have to wait for that. We're going to have to see how this one transpires. I know that I'm going to tune into Monday Night Raw to see how they get along, how they work along. It's going to be really interesting to see. It's going to make for a few interesting segments on Monday Night Raw, but at the end of the day, it's not what we wanted. We wanted a decisive decision. We wanted something exciting. It just felt a little bit flat. I wanted the brand split. We didn't get it. We didn't get much. They're both in control of Monday Night Raw, which isn't that exciting. At the end of the day, we're going to have to see how it goes, but it could have been a lot better. This went on for way too long. A very long talking segment, felt way too much like Monday Night Raw, and it just felt a little bit flat. Now, I think the Women's Championship match and this segment did make the Payback pay-per-view drop a little bit, but I thought the main event brought it back. I thought the main event was great. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did because Roman Reigns was in the main event, but at the end of the day, it was awesome. I really enjoyed this main event. Roman Reigns taking on AJ Styles, Roman Reigns defeating AJ Styles in the end of the match. I really liked how they had Shane McMahon come out and announce a restart, and then Stephanie McMahon come out and announce a restart. I thought that was really clever to get the new announcement in. At the end of the day, this match was actually solid. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was, but it was. It was a really solid match. I really enjoyed it. Roman, this is probably one of the best matches he's had in the WWE. AJ Styles made Roman look great in this match. It was a phenomenal match. It was a good match, and like all the matches on the Payback pay-per-view, it was a very good match, and I really enjoyed it. And I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. Now, Roman Reigns does get the win, which does make sense. They were going for this. I mean, no way was AJ Styles winning here. They did do a good job in convincing me during the match that AJ Styles might get the win. He got a lot of near falls. Roman gets the win. There was a huge negative reaction going into WrestleMania about Roman winning the title, and they still went with it. So they were still going to go with it at the Payback pay-per-view. Roman was always retaining the title here, but that doesn't bother me because it was a good match, a solid match, and I really, really enjoyed it. I really liked the finish with Roman hitting a huge, devastating spear. That spear looked very, very hurtful. He ducked out of the way of the phenomenal forearm and then bounced against the ropes twice and hit the spear, which looked great to retain the championship. Now, Anderson and Gallows joined the match during the match, which I thought was okay, but the Usos cancelled them out, and then we had the great finish with the awesome spear. Overall, it was a pretty exciting match. AJ Styles came close very many times, which made the match very, very exciting. Overall, I did quite enjoy this main event, and it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So overall, this was a great pay-per-view. We didn't get the debut of Finn Balor. Hopefully we see him on tomorrow's Monday Night Raw, or maybe at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. You're going to have to wait for that one. So we didn't get anything like that. We didn't get anything like Bullet Club reforming, a heel turn from Roman Reigns. But even if we didn't get that, I still think it was a solid show. So there was no John Cena, no Randy Orton, no Seth Rollins, and it was still a very good, solid show. We didn't miss any of them that much. I thought they still put on a brilliant show tonight, and it was a really good WWE pay-per-view. It was one of the best pay-per-views they were put on all year, if not the best pay-per-view they were put on all year. Roman Reigns main events, and he puts on a phenomenal match. So for me, overall, it's going to get an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this year's pay-per-view. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think that's a solid rating. What did you guys think? Smash the likes, comment your thoughts below on each and every single match. Did you like the main event? I thought it was fantastic. I also think Jericho against Ambrose was a great match. So was Zayn against Owens. Callisto and Ryback, what an amazing match. I hope Enzo Amore is okay. Overall, a solid pay-per-view. Every single match had its positives. The only bad thing was the Women's Championship match. Every other match was great. I really enjoyed every other match. Every match had some great wrestling in it, and that's exactly why we watch these pay-per-views. So overall, 8 out of 10 from me. Roman Reigns still the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Are you happy about that? Tell me below. But overall, thanks for watching. Take care. Spike care.